Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs don't happen in some fancy boardroom. They start with just one person looking at a problem that pretty much everyone else has just learned to live with. This is one of those stories about how a single engineer's frustration sparked a homegrown solution that could seriously change the future of Pakistan's entire power grid. It really did all start right here. The project's lead developer, Muzammil Adeeb, he walked into a local power office and saw this exact scene playing out. An engineer just completely stressed out, unable to do a core part of his job, all because the tools he was given were failing him. And this wasn't some rare one-off thing. This was just a normal Tuesday. So you see, that one officer's problem, it was just the tip of the iceberg. It was a symptom of a much, much bigger issue. The whole system for analyzing the power grid was fundamentally gridlocked, creating these massive bottlenecks that slowed everyone down, from the guys in the field all the way up to top management. And these problems just kept piling on top of each other. Just try to put yourself in an engineer's shoes for a second. First off, you need to run a critical analysis. You have to hope that one of the very few, very expensive software licenses is even free. Then you have to physically go to the one specific computer where that software is installed. And maybe worst of all, the folks out in the field had no way to access the system to see if the data was even right. So whatever the computer spat out was just taken as fact. It was a massive systemic blind spot. So seeing all this crazy gridlock, the developer basically said, okay, enough is enough. Instead of just complaining about it, he started a mission. Build a better tool from the ground up, one that was actually designed for the people who had to use it every single day. The whole journey kicked off with that one conversation. From there, a local team was put together, and for 2 solid years, they got to work. What they came up with was a completely made-in-Pakistan web-based application, ready to be rolled out across all of the country's power distribution companies, or DISCOs. But the goal here was always bigger than just fixing a frustrating workflow. The idea was that by making data super easy to access and analyze, they could empower the engineers on the ground. And at the same time, this would support these huge national goals like digitalization and the Green Pakistan Initiative. So what's the big solution? Well, it's a tool that takes all of that complexity we just talked about and replaces it with a single click. It puts powerful grid analysis into the hands of literally anyone with a web browser. And this is the beautiful part. That whole complicated, frustrating process has been boiled down to just this. You upload your standard network data file, you pop in 3 basic numbers, stuff any engineer would know off the top of their head, and then you click Start Analysis. Seriously, that's it. And what do you get back almost instantly? You get critical data. For example, the tool calculates that the total active power loss on a feeder is 5%. A number that used to be this massive headache to figure out is now delivered in seconds. But it's not just that one number. With that single click, you get what is essentially a complete health check of your entire network. How many transformers are there? Are any lines overloaded? What are the voltage levels looking like? It's all right there, an immediate, comprehensive snapshot. And this right here is just brilliant, user-focused design. All of that complex data gets crunched down into a clean, simple, one-page summary. You get exactly what you need without any of the extra noise. Conductor types, transformer counts, feeder length, it's all in one easy-to-read spot. Okay, so let's just put these 2 systems side by side for a second. Because the difference isn't just a small improvement, it's a complete transformation of how this work gets done. It's night and day. I mean, the difference is just staggering. Before, you needed a special high-spec computer. Now, you can literally use your phone. Before, you had licenses that cost thousands of dollars. Now, it's free. All that complex training has been replaced by an interface that's super intuitive. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a massive leap forward in every single category. But here's where this story goes from being really cool to being genuinely exciting. This tool isn't just about making better reports faster. The real innovation here is a piece of technology it creates that lays the foundation for a much, much smarter grid. This right here is the real game changer, the Panda Power Object. See, when the app runs an analysis, it doesn't just spit out a report. It creates this .pkl file, which is a standardized digital twin of that part of the electrical grid. Think of it like this. A report is a static photo of the grid at one moment in time. This object, though, it's a living, dynamic digital blueprint. And that one simple shift, it changes everything. The old systems, they gave you a static report, and that was it. That was the end of the line for that data. But this new app, it creates a dynamic object that's a starting point. It's a universal building block that other, more advanced systems can now plug into and use for way deeper analysis. So what can you do with that starting point? Well, now you can start doing the really cool stuff. You can run sophisticated forecasting models. You can analyze the grid's hosting capacity, which is a fancy way of saying you can see how much solar or wind energy can be safely added to the grid. You can easily share standardized data with international partners. You are, effectively, building the digital foundation for a modern, responsive, smart grid. And that's where we land, with this really powerful idea. A project that started with the simple goal of helping one stressed-out engineer has, through some incredible foresight, created something much more than just a report. It's created a reusable digital building block, a local Pakistani solution that has the potential to help tackle some of the biggest global challenges we face in energy.